This program is brought to you by Extratech, a leading professional IT training institute, and 3B's Education and Visa Services, a leading Australian education consultancy.
Namaste and welcome to another episode of the Influence Academy with myself, Anusha. In tonight's episode, I'm accompanied by Ms. Sheela Ghimire. Her journey in Australia began with Academia Australia SIA, where she studied accounting. And later, when she completed her bachelor's degree from Victoria University, it was only a matter of time when the city of Sydney knew her prowess. She had a face of struggle, whether it be doing shift while completing a study or putting in an effort, where it mattered to catapult her career to next level. A quick mention to our sponsors, Extratech, a professional job-ready IT training institute in Australia, and 3B's Education and Visa Services, a leading Australian education consultancy. So without further ado, let's welcome our lovely guest and current Global Control Reconciliation and Dispute Officer at one of the big banks in Australia, Commonwealth Bank. So how are you, Sila?
I'm good, thank you, Anusha. How are you?
I'm really good, and we are really glad to welcome you to our show.
Thank you so much for the invitation. It's really appreciated.
Thank you very much. So Sila, what made you choose Australia?
The reason I choose Australia, because I want to go and do further study, and also I want to enhance my career within the financial sector as well as accounting as well. Like I choose accounting, but also I want to enhance career within corporate industries, and there's lots of opportunities in Australia. So I thought, this is the best platform to enhance your background, enhance your career goals. That's why I choose Australia.
Talking about your career, let's dive deep in your career and academic, in your career in education. You came to Australia to study advanced diploma in accounting, and you worked in hospitality industry for 5 years.
Yeah.
What made you choose hospitality at that moment?
When I came to Australia, obviously you don't just look for your corporate job, because you need to gain that sort of experience. So for me, the choosing hospitality was it's kind of ladder for me to go up and gain more experience in future. So facing customers, and also dealing with everyday dealing with customers and solving their problems, and hospitality is also the platform for me to grow every day and learn more about customers. That's the reason I got the job in the hospitality. It doesn't mean that I went to apply for the I want that job, but it just happened I came to I just got the job in hospitality. I was lucky back then to get the job in hospitality, because lots of people were working as cleaner because they don't even have that customer service experience, and I was so lucky to get that experience within Novotel, one of the hotel, big hotels, working there. And I felt lucky for myself, I came to just step in hospitality background first to just move towards my career.
Okay. You've been in different positions, from food beverage attendant to administrative assistant to customer service assistant, and being a customer service representative. So what are the benefits and challenges that you think are there in working in a variety of fields?
Well, there's always challenges you have to face in workplace or either your personal life. It's daily routine, because you need to cope with that stress and every day of your life. So working as a retail assistant, obviously it's a face-to-face customer service again. Also hospitality is similar to retail assistant, but working for those I work for government industries and banking industries as well. That totally different from what I used to work before as hospitality and retail assistant. That involves more risk and also moreover of responsibility and accountable of your own action. When you do your work, when you perform your work, you have to make sure everything is done correctly at the first place. You have to have high attention to details, have that consistent and commitment in the workplace. So I find that like, you know, or working with the, you know, that's two separate type of background there. So yeah, the more you learn, the more you grow, you know. It's yeah, that's how I did it. Like, first of all,
different industry.
Yeah, I stepped my foot on customer service as a retail and hospitality, and after that I went to do administrative assistant in a Salco leasing. Well, that company is normally leasing finance company. It's in the Northwest in Sydney, and back then it was in 2000. Before even I graduated in accounting, I got that job by the help of the customer, because I was very approaching to the customer. Even I was doing retail assistant, I was serving customer, you know, like scanning the products. I used to communicate with the customer, like always ask for like what can I do to step in any other corporate environment, like even any small office, or like just to start up with my career. And I keep asking customers, whoever work in like, you know, like with the good companies, whoever, even like a small business, I was asked them if there is any opportunity for me, please let me know, you know. I'm always like keen to learn, and I always keen to grow. Yeah, I never stopped. And suddenly I got lucky. Actually, I was studying accounting, bachelor in accounting in Victoria University, and I was about to finish my degree as well. And yeah, and there you go, like customer came to me, yeah, I have a job for you, well, but make sure you have your resume ready, and your interview gonna be like in a couple of weeks after, and you just go there and just prepare yourself and do your interview. And I was so happy, like how I couldn't think like, okay, this is like, you know, this is like this is like dream come true for me, because I just want to get into that ladder first just to grow and, you know, enhance my skill within the corporate environment. And yeah, and just went there for interview, and yeah, just started job just next week. Like I went there interview on Thursday, and Monday next week I started my job. And back then, like I didn't have like full-time work availability. I was in student visa still. So they gave me 20 hours, so it was flexibility in the work as well, because they know like I have only certain hours I can work in Australia, and they gave me casual job as a 20 hours, and that was my first experience in working in an office background. And after that, I thought maybe, okay, this is the one. Like, you know, at least I have this type of experience I gained. So what next? Because I always set the goals for myself. So I thought like, okay, next I might go into look for a different role, because okay, now I got my residency. Now I'm gonna apply for my citizenship, you know. So after getting into residency, I thought, okay, I'm gonna apply for maybe ATO job. When I applied, they said, oh, you need to have a citizenship, and I got that citizenship because I want that job. So yeah, I was like, okay, if they want certain requirements in the job, then I will go and do it. If nobody can stop me for doing it. And I went there, like I took citizenship as well after residency, after 2 years of residency, being a resident in Australia. And after, as soon as I got citizenship, I applied in a couple of times. Like I applied in ATO, I applied all the government in industries like RTI as well. But luckily I got interview with ATO, because I already prepared my resume really professionally before I applied. I even checked the roles, what sort of roles they were looking for, because sometimes they were looking for like 4 or 5 years experience in certain roles, but you don't just go and apply for it because you don't have that type of experience. So they were like looking for entry role, which like fresh graduate students who have like bit of experience in customer service and hospitalities. So I had already gained those experience. Also I had some, you know, office experience as well that was included in resume.
So basically your role was as a customer service representative in all those industries that you worked?
No. The customer service representative is a call center. So people always get confused with customer service representatives, customer service assistants, though those are different type of role. So customer service assistant is just like providing face-to-face customer, helping customer to solve their problems, like retail assistant, obviously like Ubers, Coles, like those type of retails, and hospitality, like you work in cafe or restaurants or hotels, like it's face-to-face, and but these with ATO, when I got the job, it was customer service representatives. I checked the role, what that role is. That was call center, so call center based environment, and I know I need to receive the calls, so yeah, and that call required no experience needed.
An individual who worked in a certain field for a couple of years, and they gain their experience, they know much about the industry, and then they move on to another career, to different industry, and it's like you have to start from ground zero again. So what were the challenges of that?
So yeah, obviously, like working in those retail and hospitality and working in a corporate background, they are totally like so much challenges like you have to face, mostly when you work in the corporate background, because you don't know how you're gonna work, because you have been to you were working differently in different background like retail and hospitality, but the corporate one, you need to work with the scratch, but you need to have that resilience, also commitment in the work, so then you can able to learn and grow, able to learn every time when you don't understand, you can able to focus on that work. Those challenges, I found it really tough when I was working with ATO especially, because I have never handled any call before, because I need to make inbound and outbound calls to customers constantly. It was so constantly, you can't even wait 1 minute to breathe. It was so constant and so efficient, and that's what they want. It was really pressurized environment, so all they want us to cope under pressure, work under pressure, and able to perform our job efficiently. So that was the main difficulties I found at the beginning when I started the job, because I didn't know how to deal with the customer over the phone. I was panicking, I had to put the customer on the hold, because it's really intense environment there, and I came to learn, and every day when you go to work you learn every day. That's how we cope that situation.
You work in Australian taxation office, generally a fair wing of the government for tax evaders. So would you like to share your journey of getting that customer service representative role?
So when I applied for ATO, I also applied for several jobs before ATO. So I applied for RMS, I applied for NSW services, and lastly I applied for ATO. So I make sure the role matches my skills as well. I don't just randomly apply for 1,000 jobs. It's not right. So I also check the roles, what their roles required, if that matches my skills or not. So luckily I found the role with ATO. They were looking for recent graduate students. Well, I had recently that time 2014. After that I already graduated in accounting, so they need graduate account, not in accounting, in graduate students, and also who worked in customer service field. Doesn't matter, they didn't mention you need to work with ATO or have certain type of experience with ATO. They said no necessary needed before you applied, no necessary needed in particular field or call center. You just have to have a customer service experience. So I applied for that role. I waited a few weeks and I got a reply email saying that you are successful for the next step. And I suddenly got a call from ATO, one of the team. So they start taking my interview straight away. And I was ready because I was so keen to get into that job. So I know okay, if they're gonna call me, then I'm gonna say this. So I was ready for that call. So they asked me some interview questions through calls, and they invite me for the next step, which was 3 hours assessment center. So they emailed me that what in 3 hours assessment center, what you have to do, like the steps, like there was like 5 steps I need to follow. So I also prepared for those 5 steps. And I went to the assessment center after a week after my phone interview. There were like 15 people sitting there, and I just get into the room. I was like so surprised. There was like 15 people looking for the same job. I don't know how many people they were going to hire. I was so nervous as well. Also, I was excited like that this is the best opportunity to just even to gain experience. It doesn't matter if I want to pass this interview or not. There's a kind of experience you needed just to get through the process. So I can also give you the example how I get into the job, right? Okay. So the viewers would know like what you have to do to get into the job, especially not only the corporate field. Every company is looking for a good candidate as well. So for this job, there was 15 people. So first of all, they want us to introduce ourselves to each other in the room. So, and the second step was they were showing their company background and benefits and all the slides. It went for like half an hour, and after that they want us to do online test as well, and they handed us like laptop to each individuals to perform the test straight away. It was 45 minutes test, and I was given laptop and time started, and it was abstracting reasoning, numerical reasoning as well. There were letter writing, and there was few personal tests as well, including in that exam. And I was able to perform all that within the time frame. I finished exactly before 45 minutes, and after you handed the laptop, you were invited into another room for typing test because they want to know how good you are with the typing. And I was like, okay, because I know what sort of stage I need to follow. I practice before typing, before even the interview. So I know I did practices. I hope I will get through. That's what I felt before. And I went there, and they want me to do the test, and I did that test as well, typing test. And after that, it was so intense. It was not ending. Like the interview was so long. It went for 4 hours. It was not even 3 hours. It went for 4 hours. So after that, the next step was the group activity. So we were given a question, and we have to resolve that question with the help of team. So in the team, we were trying to solve that question and helping each other. So all they want to know like how good you are, how good you are with the team, and so if you are a good team player or not, that's how they want to see you. That's why we were working so hard to resolve the problems, and we solved the problems, and that interview was done, that group interview. And again there was another one. It was not ending. Again, we're invited individually to a separate room for another role play. It was a lady calling is pretending a customer, and you will hand it a script, and all you have to do is to read that script out and keep that customer solutions reading that script. And and that one as well was gone, that was passed, and the last one was face-to-face interview. I was invited in the room, and they start asking me questions, common questions, interview questions, and also behavioral questions as well. So in the behavioral questions, you always have to use STAR technique to answer that question. So STAR technique means situation, task, action, and result. So you need to make sure you use that STAR technique to answer your behavioral question. So that way I was able to answer that question, and the next round was lunch round. that was such a relief, and and then I was waiting for an email from them. I just was curious how will happen next. So after a week, actually, I received email for the last round, which was background check and reference check, and that's how I got into the job, and I was really excited, and I was really happy to get in to government job. It was like a dream come true for me as well. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing the detailed process.
Yeah, sorry, that's how I like.
It's
it's good for viewers as well, like how you need to struggle to get one job.
Yeah, of course. Sila, is the customer always right? I mean, sometimes customers make mistakes.
Yeah.
They are confused. Sometimes they can exaggerate. Yeah. Or they can even lie. So if the customer is wrong, so what do you do?
So obviously we are human beings, we make mistakes, it's natural. We don't need to panic about anything. If the customer make mistake, it doesn't necessarily that the customer is always right. They are wrong as well. But when we go and resolve their issues, we never tell that you are wrong. They will get more angry. So it's the way how you resolve their problems, even they are wrong. Keep them alternative solutions.
I think they must have like great listening skills to understand what customer really want, and they also should have patience, to handle different scenarios effectively, so that irrespective of the customer's skill level.
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't matter, if the customer is right or wrong. You always go and help that customers and give them right solutions. So it's not necessary that customer is always right. They will be wrong as well. It just depends on you, like how you go and resolve that problems. So for me, if I find customer wrong, then I will also give them and advise them alternative solutions, and also go and help that customer as much as I can, and do my best to make them happy and resolve their issues. I also put myself in their shoes to understand, why they are asking for that, and why even they are wrong. What can I do to help them, to make them happy? So I go and handle that situation and try to solve their problems as well.
So, like I mentioned, one must have really good listening skills.
I'm very calm person as well, and patience. Patient. Yeah, need patience in that type of role.
Sheela, you have about a decade of experience in customer service. So what are the critical qualities that one should have to succeed in this career?
The main quality is you should have resilience in any type of roles, willing to learn and grow. And also you have to believe in yourself. Doesn't matter what other people say what to do. You need to believe in yourself and build a confident level in yourself to keep on going. So that's the main quality you need, like resilience, being confident, and able to commit in the role, also being consistent. Those are the main quality you need in the role.
And have a good listening.
Yeah, and have good listening and skills, and be patient as well. Sometimes you need to handle difficult customers, and you need to have patience, and you need to remain calm to listen to them actively, because if you don't listen to them, you can't able to resolve that problem. So those quality you need for good customer service as well.
Working in top companies could be challenging. I mean, the competitions are huge, and you got promoted within the organization.
Yeah.
So what, in your opinion, what are the qualities that you had or strategies that you used for you to get promoted?
Yeah, I always set my goals to achieve my career. Also like being confident in yourself, being in yourself. That is the main focus. So I always have belief in myself, and that way I have built that confident level to succeed in various type of roles. So for me, I always prepare for everything, like I'm always focused on doing challenging roles. So I have ability to work under pressure. I have also resilience in myself.
You work as a global control, reconciliation and dispute officer. So could you tell us more about that role?
Yeah, so I got hired just end of last year for this role. So I'm still learning in this role. So my job is to process foreign checks, because we receive foreign checks from different countries. Also we do data entries as well. So we deal with international banks related to the disputes, if there is any issue with checks, if there is any outstanding checks, or like if there is issue with debit and credit transactions. So we try to reconcile that transaction as well. Pretty much we require high attention to details because it's really highly risky jobs, and also the accuracy is the most important key in this role, because it's highly based environment as well. So we need to perform our job within the time frame. So those type of roles I'm doing right now. I'm still learning. So yeah, there's lots of things we do within this bank. However, previously I was working in personal lending and home lending in last past 2 years with Commonwealth Bank. So in personal lending, I verify loans and I assist the personal loan as well. And we do fraud checks, ID checks, and also we make sure the loan application is correctly attached in the profile, like our own company system. And we ask for further documents if it's required related to the personal loan. And we also communicate with direct lenders and other internal and external stakeholders. So this role is a back office role. This is not a call center. So how we communicate customer through sending ad hoc to their net banking. That's how I communicate with customer. If I need further documentation, then I communicate with direct lender who call them directly. So we advise them what we needed for further documentation. So that way we can resolve that application. And the next one was I was offered another role with home lending, which was more advanced than the personal lending job. So in home lending, I did helping customers switching home loans. So like because of pandemic reason, home loan has drastically went down. Like the interest rate was really good. Like it was like really high before, and because also bank also want to help customer during those period. So lots of existing customers as well as new customer applied to the new interest rate for home loans. So I was helping them to switch their home loans from like standard variable home loans to fixed home loans, giving them good interest rate and helping customer effectively. But this is also the online, all digital as well, and back office job.
Your exposure of working in various top companies is really amazing, and you've been promoted to various divisions within the organization.
Yeah.
So how does that make you feel?
Well, I was very happy to get that role because I always wanted to gain more experience and learn and grow within the company, especially within Big Four banks. And I'm working with the Commonwealth Bank, obviously, and I wanted to grow within the industry. I was over the moon, and yeah, I couldn't be happy ever when I got the role. And I always desired to learn and grow. That was the main thing, and I wanted in my life as well, because of my hard work and my commitment towards the role, and commitment towards the my goals actually made me to become successful in my life. Yeah, I can't be happy ever.
Sila, if you pursued your career in Nepal, how different would you imagine your life would have been?
Okay, so when I already told you, right, when I came to Sydney at a very young age, I would not have any clue that I would be climbing this ladder right where I am now. Well, if I were in Nepal, if I were in this age right now, then I would also do the same thing what I did in Australia, like going through so many skills, gaining skills, and going into the banking industry. That's what I always wanted to enhance my career within the financial services. So I would do the same. I would be working in the bank in Nepal, well, with whatever bank it would be. But I will also gain more skills within the bank, and I will also have more challenging role, and I will become one of the I want to become one of the top
Bankers.
Yeah, bankers.
So finally, looking back, what are the 3 things that you've done differently if you had a second chance?
So the 3 things, that is a really good question, Anusha, because if I could have changed, I could have changed so many things in my life. Like, it's not only the work life, right? Because I have lots of satisfaction at work, so I have no complaint at work. But in the personal life, like when I was young and I was so vulnerable and naive, I tend to find people, using me, because I'm always friendly and I'm always try to help not only customer, also people who are surrounding me as much as I can, but they take it really negatively, or they try to use me for their own benefit. So those ones I couldn't able to recognize those type of people, what they're thinking. If I can change, I wanted to change those people, surrounding me, especially with bad people. I wanted to have no connection with bad people, especially. I just want to ignore them. But in past life, I couldn't able to do it because I couldn't able to recognize those people, if they're bad or if they're good. So I would change that thing. The first thing. Second thing, well, if somebody tell me what to do, I used to do that. I used to listen to that person, and I was doing very wrong, in the wrong way, because I was listening to them. But if I go back and change that, I'll do a totally different way. I will not do what they want me to do, because that is not making me happy. I will do what you would have researched. Yeah, I would research, and even the personal life as well. If somebody tell you what to do and you do it for this to make other people happy, but you are not happy, right? So I wanted to do what makes me happy, what makes me comfortable in my life. Doesn't matter the work life or normal life, but in both lives I wanted to do it my way, not their way, but but in the right way. So that would be the second thing I would do. Third thing, if I want to change in my life, would be having mentor in my life, because in past I didn't have a mentor. Because mentor play very vital role in your life, because they help you to succeed in your life. They guide you in the right direction. experience. So I wish I had that mentor back in when I came to Australia, because I was struggling with my life. I have no future because I was having bad surrounding around me as well. So I always wanted to change that. I wish if I had that at the beginning, then I would have not only in this stage, then I would done so much thing.
Despite of that, despite of all those obstacles, you've overcome everything.
Yes.
And you've been promoted in all those positions, and you've excelled and you've learned from those experiences.
Yes, I did.
I think it have made you a better person.
Yes, I definitely it does actually. The more you learn, the more you grow, and it depends on individual as well, like how they take that lesson, you know. Because I always learn from a mistake. That's the main thing. If you don't learn from your mistake, then you cannot grow. So I'm the person who always learn from a mistake and always keep growing, and learning is never stopping for me, because now also I'm learning, because I'm learning with you as well, like, you know, having this conversation with you. So yeah,
our experiences teaches us, and teaches us the most vital thing is that our learning never stops.
Yes.
And we're always evolving and we're always growing.
Yes.
And that what makes us who we are. I mean,
that's right.
Sila, we've come to the end of our episode. Would you like to say some few words to our viewers?
Thank you for watching me, and thank you for this invitation as well. It's really appreciated. For the viewers, I would like to say who are in student visa or who are new to this Australia, you know, who are living in Sydney or wherever they are, always learn from your mistake. Never stop learning. Always be confident. If you know, like lots of people are shy and they are not approachable, try to find a mentor as well. Try to find that person who are very optimistic towards their career. They will help you to succeed in your career goals as well. And if you are struggling finding a job, then I would suggest you first get a customer service experience, like local job. Get that experience from retail industries or hospitality industry, but just get that, you know, customer service experience to get into your career job. Like if you want to work in the corporate industry, get that experience first. Like mainly is the customer skills, face to face, you know. Try to get that one first, and try to build your resume. Like lots of companies don't even look their resume because there's thousands of applications, and like applicant had applied in the role, but they're looking for the particular point only, and try to focus to build their resume very professionally. You know, there's you can Google it. You can Google like sample resume as well, just to know, you know, what's the resume, like what's the professional resume looks like. That's how I also, you know, build my resume as well, like looking, surfing Googles and trying to, you know, obtain as much as I can to get that resume looks professional. And also when you apply for a job, always look for entry role when you want to, you know, work within the corporate ladders, like corporate industries. So always go and look for entry role where some company are looking for no experience needed, but they need customer service. And if you have that one, apply for those type of role. Don't just apply for random job, like 1,000 jobs, and you get calls saying, oh, have you applied for this job, and you don't know what job you applied for. Don't do that. That's wrong. So always focus on like particular role, like, you know, like if you want to work within the industry, then apply for entry role first, and work on your interview skills, because that is the most part to get into the role, most important part to get into the role, because the interview skills can help you to succeed as well, to move forward. So do that as well. And Because lastly, I would say never give up, because once you apply, it doesn't matter that you will get it, because you have to keep applying for the role. And also don't give up, and stay positive, and thanks for listening to me.
Thank you, Sheela, for your really wise words, and those were some really informative tips.
Thank you.
Thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you so much.
Giving your time in this your busy schedule.
Yeah.
And we wish you all the best for your successful interviews.
Thank you so much, Anusha. It's nice meeting you as well. I'm very thrilled to be here.
So
yeah.
So on that note, I would like to end tonight's episode. I'll be back next week with more influential stories. Until then, stay influenced, take care, and above all, thank you for watching Everest TV. Thank you.